in your day job now,
Yes.
how does the creativity come into play when you're doing your day job as a technical director for WSP?
Oh, it's absolutely essential for my day job. One aspect of it is looking at how we make things work, efficiently. I work in the transport sector. So if you walked into, for example, a train station, there is so much that goes into making it functional and making it able to function as a place that humans can exist in without harm and in safety. And so what I do is I create, in those environments, for example, I create radio networks. So have you ever been in a space that you walked into a space and all of a sudden your mobile stopped working? And you're thinking, oh, okay.
All the time.
Yeah, exactly. What I spend time doing is I create networks. So radio networks, everything from Wi-Fi networks to networks that allow people like the emergency services, like the police, ambulance, and the fire to come into that space. So if there's an emergency, they can still use their walkie-talkies to find things, to find each other, to find places to set up for rescue, for example. And that requires a lot of creativity. That requires looking at the structure of the space to understand how potentially signals can propagate in those spaces. So that's one of the ways that I use my creativity. The other way I use my creativity is making sure that my team has the right ingredients of people to make it work. And so people normally say things like, oh, we need the best talent. I personally don't believe because the best talent means that you're essentially recruiting the exact same person. And when you have a team of exact same people, one, you decrease the creativity and the innovation is gone because possibly they have the same sort of experiences. They've gone to the same sort of universities. They've had the same sort of upbringing. So what I do really is build teams of people with various abilities and various kind of skills and talent so that we can come up with the most innovative designs that we have in the space that I work in. And so you'll find in my team, when I joined the company I work for, WSP, there was only 2 people there. And the team is now about 34 people across the world. So we have people in England, but we also have people in Scotland, and we have people in India as well that make up my team. And the idea of the team is that we have people with various abilities, various things they're interested in. So on my team, I was recruiting people that have the engineering core skills, but have worked in different professions. So at a point, I had someone that was yoga teacher as well. I had someone that was air hostess for a while and had joined back into the industry. And that just creates a variety because when you work on projects like we work on across the globe, you find that you need those sorts of experiences. You need people that have experienced different environments, that understand different cultures as well, the way different people work, to create something that is innovative and really works for everybody.
So obviously communication between people, different communication styles is incredibly important. Absolutely. In that. And there's the stereotype that engineers don't really know how to communicate. They're not good at talking to people sometimes. So how do you fight against that stereotype and help the team who are spread all across the world communicate?
That's a really good thing. There's a silly joke that says that what do engineers use for birth control? Their personalities. Because they don't have any, personalities. But that isn't true. We have flair, we have personalities, as you can see. But we try to, we do effectively, on my team specifically, is I try to create an environment where people can actually express themselves, be themselves. We have things like inclusion moments in our meetings, especially because we're working across the world. It's really important. So one of my projects, for example, we had people working in our office, the WSP office in Colombia, where the project was, but we had people in Canada, we had people in Hong Kong working on this project, and we had people in the UK. And so it was very important that outside of those technical meetings where everyone is talking about the technical aspects, we have those sessions where we just have a sit down, have a coffee, have a virtual coffee. You find out what people are into, what they like, what is of interest to them. And it then builds that relationship such that when people have creative ideas, they're not afraid to share the creative ideas and think that person is gonna think I'm stupid, or oh, that's not going to work. So yeah, so it's a really important piece of innovation that you have opportunities to communicate, to network, to feel that we're ultimately humans and we're all here for the greater good. And that means that we've got to find out about what we all kind of, our synergies and how we can connect together.